The Beyond the Fame podcast is fed by Lido Pizza. Lido Pizza never cuts corners. For menu and locations, visit LidoPizza.com. And of course, this podcast would not be possible without our longtime title sponsor, the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. Upcoming featured entertainment includes comedian Michael Blaustein on July 25th. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. The National Symphony Orchestra welcomes the stars behind iconic Disney characters with the Disney 80s and 90s celebration at Wolf Trap in Vienna, Virginia this Saturday, July 26th. I spoke with Disney legend Bill Farmer, who's provided the voice for Goofy since the late 80s, including Goof Troop, A Goofy Movie, House of Mouse, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus, which just premiered this week on Disney+. Hey, Goofy, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're taking the time to join us, longtime fan. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Gosh, it was my pleasure. I'm so excited because I'm going to come to Wolf Trap.
Well, Goofy's kind of not quite a wolf, I guess more of a dog, but close enough, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of dog-like. Pluto's a dog, but I'm kind of like a dog, but
or is it like a cow? Are you a cow or a dog? What are you?
No. I'm not sure what I am. I'm just a goof.
We love it. Well, before we get into the Wolf Trap show, where are you joining us from? Are you still living in Disneyland? What is it, Mickey's Toontown? You got the Goofy house?
Well, yeah, I kind of stay down there. Right now, I'm with my pal Bill Farmer up there in northern Hollywood there. You know, that's where all they make the movies and stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense to stay there for your line of work, sir, Mr. Goofy.
Yeah, we're all big stars there on the Disney universe.
Do you still stay in touch with Mickey and Minnie and Pluto and Donald, or like on a daily basis?
Yeah, we see each other all the time. They're my buddies.
Awesome. Well, we're excited that you're leaving Tinseltown, Hollywood, to come all the way across the country to the DC, Virginia area here, and we're excited to have you at Wolf Trap. It's called the Disney 80s and 90s Celebration. It's going to be this Saturday, July 26th, so everybody get your tickets now. So who will you be joining the stage with? It's a bunch of stars from Disney from the 80s and 90s, right?
Gosh, I think so. I'm not totally sure, but I know I'm going to be singing a song, and it's from a movie that I did about 30 years ago called A Goofy Movie.
Oh, we love it. What song will it be? I bet I could guess, but why don't you tell us?
Well, it's called On the Open Road. At least that's what I think it is. And I sing it with, my pal Max, my buddy, my son.
You're always number one. They're buddies, they're pals. Always seem to work things out. That was from Goof Troop, though.
Yeah, are you singing that at Wolf Trap?
I will not be, but maybe you could, So see, we got to tell folks, your pal Bill Farmer that you mentioned that you live with, he has voiced Goofy from 1987 to the present. So all these things we're referencing, Goof Troop, Goofy Movie, that is your pal Bill Farmer here, folks.
That's exactly right.
Exactly. Maybe is he there with us? Is Bill there?
Yeah. Hey, Bill, come on over. They want to talk to you. All right. Jason, how are you?
Good. I'm so sorry that it took a few seconds to actually get you on the phone here, Bill, but we had to let Goofy talk first. He's the big star.
Well, I've been packing, getting ready to come to Wolf Trap, and so I got to put the shoes in the suitcase and get ready, because hitting the plane tomorrow and heading up there for some rehearsals, and looking forward to the show on Saturday.
Yeah, you're about to be on the open road to get out here to
Yes, I will, or in the open skies, I guess.
So, absolutely. Well, I don't know if Goofy or the list of everyone there, but I have it. Would you rather me read it of your fellow co-stars?
They tell me very little. They say you're going to go up on stage and sing the open road from A Goofy Movie, and it's amazing because this is the 30th anniversary of A Goofy Movie, and it's more popular now than it was in 1995. As a matter of fact, in its 30th anniversary, in April. It was number one on Disney Plus. Number two was called Not Just a Goof, a documentary on the making of a Goofy movie. Number eight was the sequel, an extremely goofy movie. So this is an incredible event that I'm so glad to be a part of. And this follows up a performance last summer at the Hollywood Bowl. So we're bringing the show to you, and Susan Egan and everybody else is putting together one heck of a good show.
Absolutely. And thanks for mentioning Susan Egan. She joined the show, I don't remember, a couple years ago, but she was the voice of Meg and Hercules, of
Yeah.
course, and I guess
Uh-huh.
was Broadway's Beauty and the Beast as well. And then also, I'll run down the list really quick. So it'll be you, Susan Egan, Lisa de Guzman, Broadway's Jasmine in Aladdin, and also Elphaba
Uh-huh.
in one of the performances of Wicked. We have Bradley Gibson, who was Simba on Broadway in The Lion King and Hercules as well. We have
Yeah.
Adam J. Levy, not sure how to say it, in Broadway's Moulin Rouge and Disney Princess the Concert. And then Nasia Thomas, who was in Six and last 5 years, a bunch of Broadway shows. But it's a big group there. Do you go way back with any of these folks, Susan Egan? I imagine probably at least.
Susan, I do. Yeah, the other ones will be new friends that I'll be meeting along the trip here.
Awesome. And you said you did this a similar thing at the Hollywood Bowl, and now it's going to be at Wolf Trap.
Yes.
How exactly does it work? So you have these guest singers, and the National Symphony Orchestra, the amazing NSO, will be there playing with you. But will there be like film clips on screen while you play, or how
I
does that work?
believe so. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what we did at the Hollywood Bowl. We showed the movie, and those are such incredible musicians that they can keep right in step with the movie, and we sing with the movie. And so you're not only seeing me on stage, but you're seeing Goofy and Max on a big screen. I believe that's the way it's going to work out there. It's still a little fuzzy. I'll be going through rehearsals and finding all that stuff out in just a day or so.
Well, that's a general idea, but you got to turn out to the show to see the specifics of how it's going to work. We got to leave some magic and surprises for the folks. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I would love to go. I mean, we can hear more from Goofy in a second, but I would love to now that Bill Farmer's on here. I'd love to
Yeah.
explain a little bit of your life journey. Long before you moved to live in Hollywood, before you went over the rainbow, you were in Kansas. You were born in Kansas in 1952.
Yes.
Did you have favorite Disney movies growing up?
Oh my gosh, some of them were live action, like the Absent-Minded Professor. I tried to make
Ooh.
Flubber in my chemistry set. It didn't work, but and of course, Bambi. I love Bambi. I love Pinocchio. I loved later on, of course, The Little Mermaid and Toy Story and all the things. I've been a fan for a long, long time.
Of course, that's hilarious that you were a flubber, absent-minded professor, the great Fred McMurray, Double
That was
Indemnity, one of my favorites. But this was after that. But yeah. So in terms of the Disney animated classics, you mentioned some of the greats. Bambi, it still holds up. My wife and I watched it, I don't know, a year or so ago. Still holds up, one of the greatest. And Pinocchio, all those classics. I mean, don't you think there's something about that cell animation, the hand drawn animation, isn't there? It's just timeless.
It's really nice. I like the way that it was done on a Goofy movie, and they just don't do that too much anymore. It's a kind of a rarity, but it kind of shows off the talents of the artists. And if you think that it takes 12 to 24 frames a second, they've got to draw like 20 frames for every second of the movie,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of work. But I can go in and just voice a cartoon in an hour or so, and it takes them a year to animate it. So
Yeah.
it's quite a process.
Yeah, the animators are doing the heavy lifting in terms of the hours put in. Holy moly! But yeah, so I understand why it's economically and efficiency. I understand why it's sort of gone to the digital computer stuff. But I do miss it makes those classics even more special if you ask me. You think of the soul in there and the labor of love and the passion that took to animate it. It makes them special to me.
I started my first series was called Goof Troop,
Mhm.
and we all recorded together on tape. Ensemble like a radio play. All the actors were in the same room, and we just did a scene at a time. Today, and especially starting during COVID, everyone was locked down, so I was recording from my house here. And I'm still doing that to a large degree, where, let's say Mickey comes in on Tuesday, I come in on Wednesday. And so I don't actually have someone to play off of except for the director. And it's a different style of acting a little bit. It's not as fun because you're not in the room with your friends. But then they can take all the pieces and put it together with that Disney magic of theirs, and it comes out to be a great movie or cartoon or whatever.
It's just a magical process for me and all of us fans and multiple generate. We should say it's been multiple generations of fans of Goofy, and I want to provide folks a little backstory to some of the history of Goofy, some of the other folks that
Yeah.
voiced the character. Like I said, you're 1987 to present, so we can sort of, if we go chronologically, we'll get to that in a second. But I guess Goofy first appeared as Dippy Dog in Mickey's Review in 1932, and then officially gained the name Goofy in Orphans Benefit in 1934. Is that correct, right?
Yeah, that was a Pinto Colvig, I believe, was the voice back. It was his original voice. An interesting name and an interesting character. He was also a writer, as I understand, and a musician, and did a lot of stuff and did the voice off and on for many, many years.
Yeah,
Uh,
Pinto Colvig, because yeah, in those early days, Mickey was voiced by Walt Disney himself, and then Pinto Colvig would
Absolutely.
be doing Goofy. He might have even done some Pluto in some of them. Now that I think about it, Pinto might have.
Yeah, and I do Pluto as well. So whenever
Yeah,
Pluto works, I've done him as long as I've done Goofy.
it's a
So I kind
crossover
of
role. They
dog
give you
market.
both of them, I guess. um,
Yeah.
so a lot of those early classic ones that I think back to, like in 1938, there was Mickey's Trailer where they're all trying to take the camper down the
Oh yeah.
road in hijinks.
Uh,
So that would have been Pinto Colvig as Goofy, or the Art of Skiing in 41, where Goofy's trying to ski down the slope and the skis are stuck in his bed. That was one of my favorites. He goes off the cliff. Yahoo!
Exactly. That's where that famous yell comes from, the goofy yell. And that was not Pinto Colvig, interestingly enough. It was a guy named Hans Schroll, and he was a yodeler in that particular cartoon. So when you hear the goofy yell, it's not really goofy, but they make me do it about every week. So,
That's
you know,
wild.
I kind of brought it back in a way.
Awesome. So Pinto Colvig had been doing the original, like the like the goofy part, but you're saying it was a separate yodeler in Art of Skiing that
It
added
did
the
the
Yahoo!
yeah.
Oh, it's classic. I'm trying to think of some of the other favorites. I mean, I guess Fun and Fancy Free in 47, that had Mickey and the Beanstalk, right? So that's when Goofy is
Yeah.
doing, pancakes piled up till they reach the sky.
Right. Boldy, die, dee, 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 dee.
You still got it.
I
I love
better if I'm coming to Wolf Trap.
exactly. Well, yeah, this is your warm up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know if pancakes will be there, but so that was Pinto Colvig as well. But then sadly, Pinto Colvig dies in 67. I guess about a year after Walt himself, Disney died in 66. So
Uh-huh.
that must have been that was like a turning point in the company. So Hal Smith takes over the role of Goofy from 67 to 83, and one of his last ones is one of my favorite was when he did Jacob Marley and Mickey's Christmas Carol. Do,
Sure. Yeah.
Memories of
Yeah.
watching that. I mean, I guess, let's see, you were born in 52, so you would have been 31 when that came out. But memories of seeing that on TV for the first time?
Oh, absolutely. And I'd met Hal Smith a couple of times. So he's the only other guy that's done Goofy that I really got to know. There was another one, Tony Pope, who did it for a while. But I think, gosh, I don't know if I've done it off and on. I've been probably the most solid one because it's only been me since 1987, 38 years. And without anyone doing it in that time, that's a long time. I might have the record. I don't know.
Are you the longest running one? You might be now
Might
that I
be
think
now.
about it.
Yeah, because I know Pinto left the studio for a number of years. That's why they did the how-tos, the how to do the skiing,
Oh, yeah.
beauty of baseball. And that's because they didn't have his voice available and they used what they had on tape and kind of wrote around his performance and put in a narrator.
Ah,
Now that
okay.
and those are wonderful cartoons, but and I've done a couple of them. We did one called the How to Install Your Home Theater that came out in theaters, and we're going to do some more of those. We had one on the books we were actually going to record, but didn't. It was called, I think, How to Go Through Airport Security, which could have been pretty funny.
Oh, absolutely. That's hilarious. Well, yeah. So thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, you probably do hold the record in terms of just consistent. You're the Cal Ripken of Goofy. You didn't miss
Yeah,
a day.
yeah.
Pinto,
They
I
can't
guess
get
it's
rid of me. It's yeah, I'm past retirement age, but they still call me in, so I'm gonna keep on going in as long as they do.
I love it. And just for posterity, I want to give the others their due. So Pinto, Colvig, Jack Bailey, Danny Webb, Hal Smith, Tony Pope, Will Ryan, and then you. But yeah, but you are the Goofy like of my child, other than when I go back and watch those classics, of course. But yeah, at least most of our generation on, like for the
Yeah.
last
Goof,
30,
Goofa,
40
Goofa,
years.
Goof. Yeah, all of that. Yeah. I've done about 3,500 different projects over the last 38 years. So they keep me pretty busy.
I love it. So that was sort of some backstory on Goofy itself, but sort of a parallel track to that. Your journey, you're born in Kansas in 52. So are you growing up doing Goofy impressions or other like live action John Wayne type stuff?
Exactly. I was doing John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart and all of the old actors. I'd run around and I would go to dinner and I would do, a voice for my parents. Like if I did John Wayne, it'd probably be something like, "Well, okay, Mom, get those potatoes in a circle and we're going to mash them for dinner." And my dad would look and would say, "Something's wrong with that boy." And
Pass the salt, that'll be the day.
yeah, so it just became kind of a thing, and I would like go through places like Burger King or something like that, and they'd say, "Or order in a weird voice," when we go by, and I'd like a Whopper with cheese, and Arnold the pig would like a Coca-Cola, and they'd laugh, and it was just a joke. I never thought it was going to turn into a career, and then, long story short. I was in radio for a number of years, and I would bring in characters to kind of just pass the time.
Yeah.
Uh, I did stand-up comedy from 1982 till I moved to California in 1986. That was the best training I ever had because if you can do stand-up, you can about do anything. Because on a Friday night with a bunch of people who have been drinking and they're saying, make me laugh, funny man, and you got to do your best. Uh,
Yeah.
and so I finally moved to California to see what would happen in Hollywood. And about 5 months after I got there, I got a call from my agent that said, "Do you do any of the Disney characters?" And I said, "Well, Goofy was my favorite, and I do a pretty good Goofy." And out of about 1,100 people that tried out here in Hollywood, I was the one they picked. And they don't sign you to a long-term contract. All of us voice actors are independent contractors. So every
Mm.
job is still a new contract. And
So
when I was back in Dallas, I actually had an on-screen performance in the movie RoboCop, which was
we
in
remember it well.
1986. I'm an on-the-street reporter in that, and I remember it so well. It was August of '86 in Dallas. It was about 1 in the morning, and we'd stayed up all day while they were setting things up, and it was 96 degrees. And Peter Weller in the RoboCop outfit was just dying. They were blowing air up his sleeve
Oh,
after every take.
I can't
They keep
imagine. Did you get to meet Paul Verhoeven, the director, then?
Oh yes, yeah, he was the one that picked me, and so yes, I did work on that, and then I moved to California and got the gig with Goofy, and kind of okay, I think I'm doing animation from now on, so I kind of concentrated on that.
A smart move, yeah. I mean, and the first animated film was, well, actually, it's a live action and animation hybrid. Was Who Framed Roger
Yeah,
Rabbit in
yeah, I
'88?
did. I did not do Goofy in that even. That was
Yeah.
probably the last thing that was done. But in a way, I did because I was singing the song "Smile, Darn You, Smile" at the end of the movie.
At the end,
I
yeah.
kind of did it as Goofy, and if you listen real hard, you can kind of hear me in the background, kind of doing Goofy, singing that song.
Fantastic. It to me, it is an all-time movie. It'll be around forever because we had never seen the rival camps all together. You had Mickey and Bugs Bunny falling from the sky together. You had
Yeah,
Daffy versus Donald on dueling pianos. It was I
right.
guess it was the first time all the different animation studios, Warner Brothers and Disney and
I,
others
I
came
think
together.
about the only time. You don't see that anymore.
No, I wish, yeah, it was fantastic. But okay, so you're sort of in the background doing the song at the end after they
Yeah.
defeat Christopher Lloyd, Judge Doom. That part scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But okay, so at that point, then is Goof Troop your first time as actual Goofy?
Not as goofy. I'd done independent things like, toys or something at Disneyland or Disney World, but it was the first series I did. Yes.
Gotcha. We all watched that as a kid, and I sang the theme song earlier. I think that was the first time we met Max, right? Or had he been in any other shorts or anything?
No, he was invented for that, and it was Dana Hill who voiced Max. He was much younger, kind of in grade school, about 10 years old, where in a Goofy movie, Max was in high school, basically. And so Dana unfortunately passed away after Goof Troop, and they wanted an older voice anyway. So Jason Marsden came in to fill the role of Max in a Goofy movie.
Wow. And another classic, like you said, it's the 30th anniversary now, 1995. I think that movie alone probably boosted Cheese Whiz sales across America. I can't confirm
Yeah,
that, but I
yeah.
would imagine.
It probably did. It probably did. But that was a unique experience because we changed the character a little bit. We had to make him more of a nurturing father, emotions that we hadn't had to do before, like what's Goofy like when he's worried about Max getting, into trouble and, maybe going to prison and all this other stuff that was running around in his mind. And, but being a good father, and it's so funny at Comic Cons, people come up all the time now and say, I grew up with Goofy movie and thanks for my childhood. But when I was a kid, I kind of sided with Max. And now I've got kids, I side with Goofy. So, it's a great circle of life, I guess.
Yeah, well, all of us that grew up with it, I'm sure our generation, they're now bringing their kids to watch these concerts and showing them the movie, and that's probably why it's still top of the streaming charts, like you said at the top.
It really
Um,
is has a great amount of heart, and it just the stories I hear at Comic Cons from the fans who made it what it is. It was very important to a lot of people. A lot of people would come up and say, I couldn't talk to my dad, but that became our movie, and we would play the soundtrack, and I understood my dad better by seeing Max understand Goofy better.
Wow. Folks, I'm pinching myself and you should be pinching yourself too as you listen to this podcast because we're literally talking to the Goofy and Goof Troop and Goofy movie and I guess like House of Mouse and what other iterations have been over the last 30 years. It's incredible.
Yeah, and especially like just this week, a new iteration of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus hit the airwaves, and that's available on like Disney Plus and on the Disney Channel, and gosh, that even goes just that series alone kind of started off a big run back in 2006, and it's been on ever since then. So I think Walt did a pretty good job when he put Mickey and Donald and Goofy together with Minnie and Daisy. And yeah, it still works quite well.
It really does. Hey, I want to remind folks some of your other roles, and then we'll close with bringing Goofy back to wrap it around. But before we say bye to Bill Farmer, I want to give you your props on some of the other non-Goofy voices you did. Weren't you Gaston, just the part of gulping the eggs in Beauty and the Beast, right? You
I
did your
am.
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah. I've done a lot of movies where you're in the group called the ADR group, which
Yeah.
Additional Dialogue Recording Group.
Yeah.
That's for background voices that may not be main characters, but they are in the movie. And in Beauty and the Beast, I did a lot of the villagers attacking the castle, kill the beast, and that kind of stuff. And but there was one scene where Gaston is singing about decorating with antlers and all of this kind of stuff in the bar, and he throws three eggs up in the air and swallows them, and they go, and that's me. I'm eggs. It's the most obscure thing I've ever done.
That's you.
That's me. I'm eggs. I have
Yeah.
eggs on my resume.
That's hilarious. Now that he's grown, he eats 5 dozen eggs or whatever, something like that.
Yes, but I
But you're
don't
doing
make
the
that
gulp.
sound.
That's hilarious. What else? What are some other? Are you briefly in Toy Story as well? An
Oh
announcer?
yeah, like when they go to the Pizza Planet, you can hear my voice as the mission control doing T minus 29, 28, getting ready for launch. That kind of thing.
That's you.
Uh, a lot of even non Disney movies I've done over the years, such as Space Jam was a biggie because I got to do some of my idols' voices. Mel Blanc's. I did Sylvester, Yosemite, Foghorn in that movie. I did Bugs and Daffy in an episode of Robot Chicken, just all sorts of things over the years.
For a slight Space Jam tangent, because you were working with Michael Jordan on that, that must have been
Yeah.
awesome. Are Foghorn, Leghorn, and Sylvester and Yosemite Sam, are they there? Do you have them on speed dial real quick? Can you dial them up and just
I'll tell you, boy, that boy ain't. He's about as sharp as a bowling ball. Yosemite's tough on the throat, but I can kind of, hey, rabbits. That's about it. You do that for 5 minutes, and you start talking like the Godfather.
how would Yosemite Sam make an offer you can't refuse?
I'm gonna shoot you.
How about, is Sylvester there? Sylvester, what was it like working with Michael Jordan?
One of my big lines in that, Succotash, they're monsters.
Hit him high, hit him high, hit him high. Yeah, I mean, we could go all day. Monsters Inc., Incredibles. You've done so many cool voices and so many classics that people don't even realize is the same voice as Goofy. It's wild.
It's a fun job. I think it keeps me young at heart, and I'm going to do it as long as I can.
Absolutely. Well, before we go, Bill, it's been great talking with you, Bill Farmer. But I know you're busy packing to come to Wolf Trap. So if you want to take a step back and yell for Goofy to come back on here just to round it out here.
Go. Hey, Jason, it's me again.
Goofy, what is your favorite part about living with Bill Farmer?
Well, he's kind of a goof like me. Maybe a lot longer than I've been around with him. He blames me for every dumb thing he does.
That's fantastic. Hey, and Goofy, just as we close here, I'll rapid fire a couple of your fellow animated characters, the Mickeys and Minnies and everybody, and you can just tell me if there's any insight you can provide on them as people. What do we not know about Mickey that you might want to share with us?
Gosh, let's see. He doesn't really like cheese that much, but he says he does.
Keep him away from Goofy movie then. Lots of cheese with. All right. How about Minnie? Why has she been great to work with all these years?
Oh, she's the sweetest thing you'd ever meet. Yeah, she's been hanging around with Mickey for a long time, and she's just the sweetest little thing.
How about Donald Duck, a favorite?
Gosh, he's a lot of fun too if he's in a good mood, but he can get kind of squirrely there when he gets angry.
Oh yeah, you don't want to get on Donald's bad side. All right, one more. How about Pluto? Obviously, you're voiced by the same people a lot over the years, so there's probably a special bond.
Gosh, he's Mickey's best friend. Been with Mickey for as long as Mickey's been around. And he's a fun guy to hang around with too. Barks a lot, but he keeps the cats away.
Do you have a rivalry with cats, or does Pluto? I don't know, like Garfield.
Well, sometimes Mickey does, because Pete is a cat, or he's supposed to be a cat. So it's like dogs and cats and mice and all sorts of stuff. They don't hang together quite often in the real world, but in the animated world, we're good friends.
Oh yeah, Pete has been a nemesis over the years, at least on screen. But you're saying behind the scenes, you guys get along?
Oh, he's okay. Yeah, if you give him a hot dog, he's happy.
So Chip and Dale and Pluto, they go at it on screen, but behind the scenes, they shake hands or paws and
that there's what you call that stage acting.
Now, have you sat down and showed Mickey Steamboat Willie the original?
He saw it before me, actually. But we watch it once in a while when we put it on the television and stuff, and it's kind of different the way it looks way back there, that black and white, and now it's all in color and animated, and gosh, looks really great.
Awesome. So Goofy, you were originally, like we said, you were Dippy Dog before you found your footing as the actual name Goofy. And Mickey was Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So do you or Mickey, does it feel a little odd watching Oswald or Dippy Dog?
No, they're nice memories, but now is now. And so we're just glad that people still care about us and come out to see us.
Well, speaking of which, that's the perfect place to leave us. Goofy, in your signature voice, invite us on out to Wolf Trap this Saturday for the Disney 80s and 90s celebration.
Gorsha, come on out and see us, everybody.
All right. Hey, Goofy and Bill, I don't know if you're still there, Bill, but thank you so much for joining us. This was so much fun getting to talk with you.
I am, and I'm looking so forward to coming out to Wolf Trap. How big is it? I actually did, like I say, I did the Hollywood Bowl last summer, and it was incredible. How big is Wolf Trap? I've seen a couple of pictures, but it's hard to tell.
Well, the actual seating capacity is like, I don't remember, like 7,000 or something, but it's hard to say because what makes it unique is it's part of a national park. It's like 120 acres or something like that. So it's no matter how much urban sprawl comes out of Washington D.C. in the suburbs, where Vienna, Virginia, where that is near Tyson's Corner, you would never know it. You can't see any highways or anything. You pull off into this national park and you're surrounded by woods. You can walk through nature before the show. It's one of my favorite places to go.
I am looking forward to it so much, and so is my wife because she grew up in Springfield, Virginia,
Really? I
and
did not know
which
that.
is pretty close there. And so we've got some friends that she hasn't seen in a long time who are coming to see the show on Saturday night.
Oh, that's great. So there is a local connection there.
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, make sure you save some room in your trunk for Goofy, or I don't know if he flies first class. However you do it, don't forget Goofy.
No, I'll fly first class. Goofy can do economy.
Goofy rides coach. Hey, Bill, thank you so much. This was a blast.
Thank you so much, Jason. It was a wonderful time. I had a great time today, and I'm looking forward to the trip.
All right. I guess the only way we can close out is with Yahoo! Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.